This watch was made in 1913, and it is a tonneau-shaped watch with a beautiful dial, and it was made for the Brazilian retailer Gondolo and Laborio. The retailer had a very complicated but incredibly popular lottery system. It really captured people's imagination. There was a Patek Philippe waltz composed. There was real Patek mania in South America at this interesting time. And I mean, I think this is a fabulously evocative thing. I mean, it's a very attractive watch. It's a little over the top, but I think that's personally, I rather like that. And it just speaks of a moment in time when the wristwatch was just sort of asserting itself. Since the introduction of the 1518, there has always been in the Patek Philippe collection a perpetual calendar chronograph with moon phase, and it has become one of the most representative combinations of complication for Patek, and then by extension for other makers as well. This is where the sort of legend of Patek Philippe as the manufacturer of great wrist-worn complications really began with this watch. It's a beautiful watch. I happen to think that the dimensions, while perhaps small for many contemporary tastes, are absolutely exquisite, and it's just a great watch. This is the work of Gilbert Albert, who was a talented, young, experimental jewelry designer. He won numerous awards, and Henri Stern decided that he would be the man to give a modern interpretation of the best Geneva watchmaking. He made these watches called ricochet, which are watches to be worn in the pocket, but in a way they feel more like very elegant pebbles. They don't have a chain. They're very, very modern. They talk of a time of daring. They prefigure the whole 60s style. And they demonstrate a willingness, even when the company is, you know, quite mature, to experiment, to try new things, and to create new forms of beauty. It's not slavishly adopting quartz technology and trying to catch up with technological developments in America and the Far East, nor is it retreating into the comfortable territory of the glories of the past. It's striking out, it's creating something radical and daring that looks as remarkable today as it must have done when it came out in the mid-70s. So it looks like it's a very futuristic design, but actually it required incredible skill to put this very tricky construction together and to make it fully functional and capable of withstanding conditions that would probably kill the wearer. But also you have this beautiful bracelet design. You have these interplay of polished and brushed surfaces. You have this dial with these godrons. It's a marvelous, marvelous thing. This isn't a scaled-down photocopy of a work of art. This is something upon which somebody has worked for months on end, their whole world shrinking to this tiny disc of metal on which they work, painting with brushes that are often no wider than a single human hair, to create something that is a work of art on its own merits, but is also a supreme example of detailed craftsmanship, and also a faithful interpretation of the spirit of the works of these artists. Looking backwards, they pay a sort of homage and respect to this wonderful Genevois craft that almost died out. But they also look forward to the second decade of the 21st century, when there is now this rebirth of interest in what are variously called métiers d'art, rare handcrafts. This renewed importance as to the decorative element of watches. And I think with these two watches, with their beautiful work, are harbingers of what is to come, and also wonderful examples of an historic tradition reaching back over centuries.